tool, and that is journaling.
Mm.
So, like, I just want to offer that to all of our listeners because Gila's a writer. I'm a writer. I've been a lifelong journaler since I was teenager. And when you begin to use your journals to move some of these ideas from the inside to the outside, when you move some of the feelings from the inside to the outside, it gives you this way of looking at it and reading really some of your soul that ends up out in word form on the page. And so I know you use journaling and you love writing just like I do too.
Yeah, it's great. For me though, I need to feel it first before I can even put it on a page. I know some people can just write, even without, and I don't even think sometimes when I'm writing, but I just have to fully get into my body. Even if I have to go out in nature, take off my shoes, lie on the ground, I need to get into that space of feeling it in my body. And then the words can come on the page. So I think for everyone, there's a different methodology, but I agree with you, Laura, that the power of the words have such immense, immense healing properties, utilized with other methods or even alone. It can release so much trapped emotion and trapped feelings that people are experiencing.
Yeah, that's a great point. I spent decades practicing the feeling in my body, and I was writing all along, but it really went out along with the practice you're talking about. I don't think it's one or the other. I think the combination of everything can be super powerful. It's always really cool to understand the different tools we have at our disposal, right, for this whole journey. And there are so many. There's so many different ones. It's good for everybody to realize that mine might not be yours,
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. There are so many, and whatever resonates for you as the listener, I think that's what you go with.
So, I think the idea that humans are a mix of our light and our dark is starting to be understood more. But talk to me about why we really have to embrace all of it as a path to authentic healing.
That's a fantastic question. To be honest, I was just talking about this on my podcast with Lloyd Burnett a couple of weeks ago. So those of you who are interested should go to listen to my replay. So why I think this is really important is because there's so many dark emotions that we have. It's not just fear. I mean, fear is obviously an important one, but there could be anger. And there can be, different shades of all of these types of emotions. And utilizing that to get to the light is so amazingly powerful. I was brought up fearing men. My father was a really big figure in my life, and, he never, nothing, his voice in and of itself when he would yell at us would totally frighten me. And I grew up just being afraid to be angry with men until I finally released that anger and released that fear. But it took me a long time. It took a long process for me to go through that. And so I think to embrace your emotions, to embrace all of that as a part of you, it was really a different concept for me. I felt like I needed the only way to be good, it was to be well behaved in front of everybody, and maybe I'd let it out with my kids, but even that I felt wasn't good until I actually told them as well, you can scream if you feel upset for no reason.
Yes.
Because you need to let it out, and I think to see all the sides of yourself for yourself and to accept yourself, that's where the self-love comes in, is to accept the darkness of your desires, to accept the darkness of your anger, to accept that somebody can love you for all of your darkness and your light was a real revelation for me.
It's so powerful. I know I'm a recovering perfect good girl myself, and was not allowed to be angry. I mean, I might have felt it, but I was never allowed to express it. And so my go-to was to be very quiet, get very small, and not seen. as a survival mechanism, really. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
same
I
thing with
felt
the
that way too.
parents. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I completely felt that way. I would just shut down, like I did get angry. I used to have temper tantrums all the time. My parents didn't know how to handle me. But as I got older and I realized that that wasn't cool, like they weren't into that, I never knew how to express it. I would I would get angry with my sister because, we were in the same house. But I think starting to read and writing, that was my escape. It was a way for me to understand that these emotions exist, that I can at least write about it. It was mine. It was mine to own because they were my words and nobody could see them except me.
Yeah, and they weren't good or bad. They were yours.
Hmm.
Yeah, I still have those thoughts in my mind about those things when I write, and even more so when I write things for the world to read, and just always you know, weighing this thing about giving myself permission to express exactly the way that I feel like expressing in the moment, and weighing it against the feeling that it's possibly inappropriate, not bad, inappropriate, whatever. But man, it's really, really nice. It's such an incredible feeling of freedom to be able to understand all that and look at it and do the things I really want to do anyway, and to really follow the desires that you talk about.
Yeah, I have to say, Laura, I it was actually in Laura's class in September. That's how we met. And she used to say that, I believe, Laura, it's like fear is your compass. Is that what you said?
Yeah, use fear as a compass.
Right. And it's stuck with me. And so whenever I'm afraid, and I even asked Laura, I remember when I was where I'm publishing stuff on Medium, and be like, oh, I don't know, this is kind of racy. And she'd read it and she's like, well, use fear as your compass. And I did. And it's really taken me to places. I still, sometimes I feel it, but I feel it less and less. And I'm just really just putting myself out there because this is who I am. And I think that if anybody's interested in working with me, they need to know who I am, and they don't
Mm.
need to just see the side that I'm just great. I'm a great person to talk to, and they can get really connected to me. And, they need to know what my interests are. And that doesn't necessarily mean they have to have the same interests. But I think the more you know about a person, the more comfortable and trusting you're going to feel about being with them.
Exactly. I'm a proponent of going first and really trailblazing the authenticity we're trying to teach. And when we're honest like that in our words and our, whether we're writing them or speaking them, people are getting to know us and trust us. And if we really want our clients to do this vulnerable work, we're going to have to go first. I mean, it's the only way to really lead into that journey, I think.
Yeah, no, completely. I've been in recently. I've just been in a lot of, as an entrepreneur, a lot of vulnerable situations, and every time, I get these meltdowns, and actually I'm more the rubber band part of me, the elasticity is faster. So that's
Mm.
great news, and I think it actually also validates my purpose. Validates my mission that, oh, I'm on the right path. I have to go through this, not just for me, but for my clients.
Oh my gosh, yes. So this is perfect segue into the next question, because I want you to tell the listeners about what you're up to. What are you offering the world right now in terms of your programs and offerings?
Fabulous. Thank you so much for giving me the time to express this. So, what I'm offering right now is a 6-month program with me to work on coaching, one-on-one coaching. And what we'd be working on is basically to reclaim your power, using your sexual energy, as we talked about today, to reclaim your power and really to get in touch with your eroticism, your desires. And in the process, we'd be going through healing using a variety of different methods, primarily writing. And there would, the information you can find out on my website in terms of the logistics of it. But I think it's a really wonderful opportunity for women who are feeling like they have this energy they don't know what to do with, they don't know how to express it. They're feeling, and sometimes some of you who are listening may be feeling trapped. You may be in a situation, either a job or something where you're not really fully feeling fulfilled, or there's another purpose that you want to do in your life, and you're not sure how to tap into that. I believe that your power is within you. And it's just a question of really exploding it, really getting deep down and dirty with it. And I mean that in all senses, like we talked about the darkness and the light, like that's what I would be working with you on. And I feel like this is just an amazing journey because each and every one of you who are listening have such immense power and you're here for a purpose. And I want to help you to see that power. I want to help you to use it for the betterment of you and humanity.
So you guys, make sure you go to wildwritersheal.com to learn about that program that Gila is offering. And I'm gonna plug your 6-month program here in a little bit of a different way, Gila, and I'm doing it for myself too. Listen, you guys, you're ready for big transformation, for your life to get shaken up in a way that you finally, literally see the light and the purpose and the passion and the mission and your calling. You're going to have to spend more than an hour coaching session with somebody. And so there are many of us, including myself, who are offering 6-month programs when honestly, it should be a year. And so I get passionate about this because I want people to understand that the value is inside of the connection and the authenticity and vulnerability that coaches are in when they work with you. But there's value in the tools they're teaching you. There's value in the fact that you just hired a major cheerleader for your life and purpose. And the people who are doing this that really care about it in the world right now, you feel it. You're going to feel the energy when you hire Gila to take you on this journey. You're going to be hiring somebody as a guide for your amazing life for the next 6 months. It's worth every penny. And for once, I hope people will understand that the investment they're making is so much bigger than the dollar amount you're going to lay down for this. It's goes beyond and beyond and beyond in so many different ways. And, don't get me started because I'm pretty passionate about that. So hopefully that helps your people, Gila, to really look at what you have to offer and to understand the bigger thing behind it.
Thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate that. I think you're completely right. Every coach that I've ever worked with is completely committed to me, and it's really how do I say this? It's kind of a bi-directional. Like both parties have to be completely 100% committed for any person to really move forward in their life.
Yes. And I think that people that have had bad coaching experiences have a tough time. They don't know what to do and how to hire the next one. And I think all of the different things we talked about on this podcast today, listening to and honoring the message of your body, your intuition, your desires, all of those things are going to help you choose somebody to be on your team, so to speak, and it'll help you to aim yourself in a direction and understand the right person for you. So these are things that, there's a little bit of live and learn as you go on this journey. And Gila is there to help you understand. And so am I getting this right that people can get on the phone with you for like a free consult just to see if you're for them?
Yeah, definitely. They can go onto my website and they could schedule a free 30-minute call with me.
Awesome.
As well as sign up for my newsletters.
Awesome. Okay. Wildwritersheal.com, you guys. Okay. So Gila, thank you so much for being here and for that totally amazing, awesome conversation. These are the words that are going to change the world. And so many of you know that I'm a poet, and I like to end my shows by reading you one. So settle in, relax, take a breath, and feel